Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Capes, Cows, and Close Calls. My name is Nick. With me always is my co-host, Sean, the Irishman King.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
How's it going, man? Hey, right off the top, don't forget, interact with the episode, guys. Leave us a review. Let us know what you think.
Yep,
you find our link tree. Leave us a comment. We love all that stuff. Nick, what's going on?
All the links in the description below. Nothing, man. Nothing much, bro. We missed a week, guys. Sorry. We apologize. Your boy was feeling a little under the weather. Got some weird kind of stomach virus bug thing.
But you're better now.
Better now. Took me.
Bro, there's been a summer cold going around.
Has it really?
Wow.
Yeah, I know that.
I know a few people that got
it. Apparently, there's a new strand of COVID too. So
I mean, that's forever now.
yeah, it's like part of the. They said it's forever.
Forever. Every year there's gonna be a new strand.
Yeah, there's a new strand of COVID. So I heard about that too. So I don't know. And I mean, I could have had either one of those because I went to the urgent care or whatever, and they tested me for COVID. They tested me for the flu. They all came back negative apparently. So they were just like, yeah, you got some weird thing. I was literally throwing up in the room.
Like, I don't know what you got.
Yeah, literally. They both. It was funny.
They take a step back from you.
Both the nurse and the doctor came in. The doctor came in. He was like, I heard you throwing up out there. I thought I was gonna have to send you to the real place. I'm like, well, that's not fucking urgent, bro. Because I went to one of those urgent cares or whatever. So it wasn't the hospital emergency room. It was like
the minute clinic,
kind of thing. Yeah. So. Yeah, he was like, I thought I was going to have to send you to the big place. I was like, yeah, okay.
The last time I was having issues, I went, and they were like, yeah, if you keep going, keep having issues, don't come back here, go to the ER.
Yeah. That's literally what he told me, too. He was like, I think
that's the company line.
It has to be.
If you still have problems, don't see me again.
Don't come here. Go there. He told me the same thing. He was like, if you keep throwing up and the pain in your abdomen doesn't go away, go to the emergency room.
Did he give you any anti-nausea medicine?
He did, yeah.
Did you take it?
No, because by the time I had got back, because when you're nauseous, right? Like after you throw up, you feel a bit better and you really just want to lay down.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was. Like I was just like, I just need to lay down for a minute. And once I laid down, it was still there, but I also didn't eat or drink anything for the rest of the day. So I didn't feel like I needed to throw up. Also, there was an issue with my prescription, so I couldn't get it to the next day. So, but by the time the next day rolled around, the nausea went away. So, yeah.
I took and I couldn't tell you what the name is. I took the anti-nausea from the Minute Clinic, the one in Edgewater. I don't know if that's the one you went to.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah,
the one on Broadway.
So they gave me, on Broadway.
Yep.
They gave me the one, and it just knocked me out.
Really?
And I was like, I guess I can't be throwing up if I'm asleep. I couldn't stay awake. I remember I was on the couch. I never fall asleep on the couch. I was on the couch. I could not stay awake.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I was like, what is in this?
That's weird, yeah. Anyway, forget all that bullshit. Forget all that, because something way more important happened since we've been gone.
It is funny that that's how we started.
None of that shit even fucking remotely matters in comparison to where you are now. Tell them what happened, Sean.
I got engaged.
Woo! My boy!
Dude, look at us, man.
Welcome to the club.
We got a couple of fiancés.
You know what I mean? We ain't no boyfriends no more.
No.
Fiancé.
Yeah, man. It's exciting. It's exciting time. Man? Feels great.
Tell me about it. Can you tell me about it? I know Dia wanted it to be very private. She didn't want me to be in the bushes with the camera taking pictures. I could have been, just so you know.
Oh, I know.
I could have been in the bushes.
I know you were right.
I'd have been dressed in all camo. People at the botanical garden would have been looking at me like I was a fucking lunatic, but it wouldn't have mattered because I'd have been like, I'm here to capture a moment. Now leave me alone.
She didn't want that.
She didn't want that.
We
So tell me about it, man.
Let's see. Okay, so it was we did this Memorial Day weekend. So I did it Saturday, but I'll start the story on.
Also, you never even told me.
Sorry, I did Sunday, Saturday.
You told me you had ordered the ring. But you didn't. I didn't know you had the ring already.
This is that story, Nick.
I feel like you went
right now.
Hey, Nick, I ordered this ring, and then 2 weeks later, you were like, "She said yes," and I'm like, "What the fuck happened? There's steps missing, Sean. What are we talking about here?"
I'll wake up Saturday morning.
Okay.
I said it wrong first, so I'm gonna start the story on Saturday. I'm proposing on Sunday. I woke up Saturday morning, and I already had scheduled And I also told you this off the air, but we have like a family, like all 4 of us, my siblings, brothers, and I have gone to the same jeweler. So we basically have a family jeweler.
Right.
And it's the town we grew up in. So I had this appointment to go see him to get the ring. And I had planned it out that like she had plans with her friends, and she was supposed to leave early. She was supposed to hang out with her sister beforehand, and her sister were going to go hang out with like their childhood friends. They do this like annually, basically. Like they see these like 2 friends in particular that they like grew up, they were like next door neighbors, grew up with. And so it's like the morning of, and I did curbside pickup for Aldi for the first time.
I thought you were going to say you did curbside pickup for the
ring.
I was like, what kind of fucking jewelry?
And so she's coming with me, and then I'm really running close to the time where I need to go pick up the ring. And we go, I'm like, let's go to Aldi real quick. I'm rushing her. I get her in the car, and she's like telling me about her dream. And she's like, man, I had a dream you lied to me. I was like, what? She's like, I had a dream. We were in some dystopian future kind of silo bunker thing.
Okay.
You lied to me, and then you had me hide the diamonds. And in my head...
Like, hold on to that thought.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, diamonds? And I need to lie to you today because you're supposed to be gone and you're not gone yet.
That's crazy.
So then I'm like, yeah, Michael being my brother, he needs some yard work. Help. He's got some mulch, a truck full of... I got to help him...
The old yard work
unload, help him with yard work. I gotta go. And I knew what's funny is I'm leaving not in like yard work appropriate clothes at all. But I get the ring, and then in my head, I was like, I already had the idea of how I was going to do it, what I was going to say. And I was like, there's really, the only missing piece was I hadn't talked to Andre's mother.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. What am I waiting for? I have to call her. I can't see her. She's in Romania. So like,
yeah.
What am I waiting to do special with the call? So I send her a message first because I've never called her before. And I was like, she's not going to pick up seeing a random number. She doesn't have my number. So I send her a message saying, hey, this is Sean. I'd like to talk to you for a minute. If it's okay, can you let me know when's a good time to give you a call? 15 minutes later, now it's good. And I was like, all right, fantastic. So I called her. I asked her for a blessing. That all goes smoothly.
Nice.
And I'm like, nah, I really don't have any excuses. I'm ready to do it. It's time to go.
All right.
So I told you this, but for our listeners, I did at the Chicago Botanical Gardens. So I told her that night, I was like, tomorrow, let's do a little like cute date in the morning. Let's go to the Chicago Botanical Gardens. She's like, I love it. Morning of, I'm like, just so you know, I'm going to dress nice. I know sometimes we go a little sporty because we're like hiking. I want to look, it's a date morning. I want to look cute. I'm going to put a dress shirt on. I'm really trying to wear something, that you want to be proposed to without saying it.
That's the hardest part of organizing
I'm already
the entire
pumped
proposal.
That her nails are done. I was like, this is fucking fantastic.
That's also fucking key. Was that a point for her? Because Tally was
trying to make sure her nails are done.
She was like, don't you even fucking dare ask me if my nails aren't done.
Yeah.
Like, don't even do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, okay, I got to make sure your nail. And it's like, as a guy, it's so hard to coordinate all that shit to be like, I need you to have your nails done, your hair done. I need you to wear a nice outfit. You know what I mean?
Yep. And not have them know what's happening.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on? All right. Okay. So continue. Nails are done.
Nails are done. She wears some nice clothes. She's looking great.
Yeah.
We get in the car. We pick up some breakfast to eat at the picnic area there. So we eat there. And now and in my head, I know where I want to do it. And you've been to the Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
Have you seen what they call the waterfall? It's not big, but they're little. It's by the Japanese garden.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, every time I've gone to the top of that little waterfall, it's always like nobody ever takes that turn to go to the top. Have you done it?
I don't think I have.
See? No. Nobody does it. So in my head, I'm like, it's a cute romantic spot. You hear the water in the background. Nobody's ever there because her condition is nobody around. I'm here and I'm panicking a little bit by the fact that it's Memorial Day weekend and this is like the packedest I've seen the Botanical Gardens. There's so many people here. I get her there and there's like a teenager that's like on the bench brooding, clearly fighting with her parents, and she's just like looking at them, scowling, and just like, and I'm like, this teenager is not going anywhere anytime soon. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is not the spot. This is not what we're gonna do. I can't awkwardly keep her here waiting for this teenager to leave.
Right.
So then the game's afoot. I am now scanning the locations of where to do this. We're walking around, and I'm trying to be like engaged too, because we're on a cute date. I want everything to go smoothly. And she's great.
You're like,
I am scanning. She's like, and she's like, oh, Sean, look at this flower. I'm like, oh yeah, that flower looks great. And I'm like,
keep walking.
We're walking. Oh my God, smell this one. Doesn't this one smell awesome? I'm like, it smells amazing. And so finally I get lucky and we start going by the I don't know if you've been to the bell tower area. I never really walk over there because I don't think there's much there.
Tower. I don't think so.
We're walking there and I see a little path that goes off to the side, and I was like, well, let's see where this goes. And so we take this little path, and where it does is it takes you like up like a slight hill, and then there's like a lookout area that looks out over the garden, and nobody's around, but it's a gorgeous view. And I'm like, this is the spot.
Yeah.
So I sit her down. I had a poem that I had made and now have had memorized.
Nice.
So I say the poem. It took the first Mississippi before she realized what was happening. Because I'm one to say I made a poem and then come up with something goofy on the spot. So as soon as she realized it wasn't a goofy poem, she realized what I was doing.
Like, this is it.
So my poem ends with, will you marry me?
Nice.
So I got on one knee for half a second.
Okay.
She pulled me up in for a kiss.
Nice.
Said yes immediately, and then that's the story.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Did she cry?
No tears. She was super like for the next 3 hours. That smile did not come off her face. Nice. I mean, mine too. Really, we were talking about our cheeks were hurting. Like we were just smiling. So it's cute. Is like we do it right. We kiss, put the ring on. We're like, oh my God, we're walking back down that little path down the hill, and we like immediately run into strangers. And she's like, you guys just got engaged, didn't you? Just because we're just like smiling.
That's hilarious.
And we're like, we did. She's like, give me your phone so I can take her photo. So this like random stranger took a bunch of photos for us.
Nice.
Like, right. Yeah. So it's cool.
That is cool.
I had one rule, not a rule, but like one pitch. I go, all right, so we're here. This is still relatively the beginning of being at the botanical gardens. Yeah. I didn't wait towards the end of it. I was like, like after this is like, we're going to tell everybody the good news. Everybody's going to want to talk to us, say the congratulations. I was like, let's enjoy the Chicago Botanical Gardens, just you and I, walk around, continue this date. When we leave, we'll tell people.
Yeah.
I go, the one exception, this is not a mistake. I was like, your mom is 8 hours ahead of us. If you want to call your mother, call your mom, but nobody else. Everybody else, we won't say a word to until we leave the Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
So first thing she does is she sends a photo of the ring and of us. The same 2 photos I sent you.
Okay. And
then she calls her mom. And oh my God, congratulations. We get to her grandma's in the room, so we talk to her grandma. I mean, it's all in Romanian, so I'm really just there.
Yeah.
She goes, I haven't told Anna yet. Anna being the sister. Like, we're waiting till we leave. She's like, I already sent her the photo.
Oh, my
God. So then my plan just went right off. Yeah. I was like, we have to tell people. Like, it's already spread. And what's really funny is she's like Anna is like jokingly angry with me because I didn't tell her, but I told her mom because I asked her mom for her blessing.
Right.
A year and change or so ago, Aaron, who is Anna's husband, I have to say this, you know this, but I have to say this so people understand. It's his bachelor party, and I was basically like the DD, so I like drove him home at the end of the night. So the end of the night, just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And it's his bachelor party. He's feeling great, right? I'm thinking he's not really remembering the conversation we have. He's like, Sean, man, I gotta ask you. I said, when do you think you're gonna propose? He's like, because Anna keeps asking me. I was like, so I told him the spring of this year is what I had in my head.
Yeah.
We have not talked about it since. He goes, I'm not going to tell a soul. I was like, all right, man. In my head, for the story, he's super drunk.
Right.
Like, I had to, he stumbled to the car. I had to guide him in. I'm like, he doesn't remember this conversation. So fast forward, she goes, my husband knew. My mother knew. I'm the only one that didn't know. And Aaron's laughing in the background. He's like, I didn't tell her until like a week ago. And she was mad that I've known this whole time. And I was going to be honest with you, I'm surprised you remembered.
That's hilarious. She was pissed, I'm sure.
She was pissed. But she put it together because also what I didn't know is when I texted her mom, had the foresight to know, don't say anything to Andrea, because she's like, I think it's pretty obvious what I was trying to do. Mm-hmm. But also because she didn't have my number, she wanted to make sure this wasn't like a scam or some like, tricky or whatever. Yeah. So she asked Anna, hey, is this Sean's phone number? So, and that was like all the 50. Mom. It's smart. It's like all of the 15 minutes. Ahead. Yeah.
She's like, well, let me not. And that was smart. She's smart. Yeah.
So Anna, based on that conversation, and then eventually like questions her mom, what did he want?
Of course.
So she knows I'm about to propose. Then she checks our location in the morning and sees that we're in the botanical gardens. Goodness. So before even getting the text message from her mom, she put the champagne into the refrigerator. I was like, kudos to your detective work.
My goodness, bro, that shared location shit is gonna be the death of me. My goodness, yeah, because they got iPhones, like share their location, don't they?
Yeah. But there it is, man. Yeah. So we've been engaged.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
I'm excited, man.
Me too,
Good
man.
shit.
Me too.
Yeah, a couple of fiancés doing a podcast. You know what I mean? Making it work. All right, cool, man. Good stuff. Good shit. Happy for you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Happy for you. All right. Enough of the mushy shit. No, I'm just kidding. We can be on the mushy
3
stuff.
hours later.
We can be on the mushy stuff as long as you want. I don't have a transition from that to anything. And you know what? That's fine.
Today we don't need
That's fine. Because that's worthy to not be transitioned into something else. We talked about a monumental moment. Hard stop. We'll go into the next topic now because we can't talk about an engagement for 3 hours because people be like,
that's not what this podcast is about.
Yeah, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Wow. I got some close call would you rathers.
Hit me.
Would you rather do those? This is the first would you rather. Would you rather do these before we talk about the main topic? Or would you rather wait and do it later?
Let's do it now.
You want to do it now?
Let's do it now.
All right. So I was thinking of these, right? So there's 3 of them.
Okay.
So I was trying to think of, I don't know why this came to me, but I was thinking of ways to get superpowers, but like with the worst possible side effect.
Okay.
Related to said superpower.
Okay.
Okay. So I got a couple. I want to see what you would choose. All right. Would you rather have the power of flight, but you have gross looking bat wings?
Okay.
Right? Like man bat. Like they're attached, their skin attached to your arms. Those are your wings, and that's how you're
attached to my arm. Like I don't even get my arms in. I got
no. I mean, you can still use arms, them, but they're like.
But my wings are hitting.
They're on it. Yeah, you're like a flying squirrel. Okay. Right. So would you rather have that, but you can fly?
But I can fly.
You can fly, or would you rather have super speed, but you look like a centaur? You know what a centaur is?
No.
Half man, half horse.
Oh, yes.
Your lower body's a horse. That's what gives you your super speed. Because you got horse legs now.
Both aren't great, man.
I know, that's the point.
Not great.
They both kind of suck.
How fast can I run?
Am
I the Flash or am I just like...
So you're not... I wouldn't say
am I just the speed of a horse?
No, so you're faster than a horse, right? So you're not the Flash. But I guess... You know how like... Whenever you get like a human-animal hybrid, it's like whatever the abilities of the animal were, they're like enhanced because you're human. You're part human now, right? So
okay.
You're able to like push those beyond its normal physical limits. So like, imagine that. So like, I think the top speed of a horse, I want to say is maybe. Oh, that's a good question. Let me see. What is the top?
I think I'm going man bat wings.
Top speed of a horse. 44 miles an hour. I'm sure the fastest horse can probably run 50 miles an hour. But so let's just say if a horse can run max speed 50 miles an hour, you're a centaur. You can hit 100 miles an hour running. We'll go ahead and double that.
I'm gonna go wings.
You're going man bat wings.
Man bat wings.
So just gross flappy.
Yes.
Wings.
I feel like they're less in the way.
Being half horse.
Imagine if I'm a centaur. I can't even get into my condo.
I mean, you could, but like with one jump, you could just
from the outside, maybe.
That's true. Just keep a window open. You know,
Yeah.
Gotta have a big window, I would assume, but
It's just too. You're just too big. You can't do any. I live in a city.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess I didn't think about that. I mean, maneuvering those wings, trying to put those bitches away would also be a hassle.
I mean, when bats go like this, they just go down.
Right, but now you got all that flappy skin.
Yeah, right. I can still get in my condo. If anything, it might be soothing at night.
You just wrap it up like a blanket.
Just like a blanket.
Like a bat, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Got some warm.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think I would go man bat wings too.
Okay.
Over centaur. Although, I mean, it'd be cool to be a centaur, I guess. Just be standing.
Maybe if I lived out in the wild, maybe.
Yeah, like if you lived on a farm.
Yeah.
Like a ranch or something. Yeah, I could see that.
Be a little bit more enticing.
So you're thinking your current circumstances of you live in the city of Chicago.
I definitely couldn't be a centaur.
Yeah, no, you couldn't. Wings would definitely be better. I mean, to be fair, I feel like if somebody saw something that big flying around, a lot of people would probably shoot at you because they just out of terror. You know what I mean? Like,
what in the hell?
What the f*** is that? No, you get chased down.
You'd have to fly straight to the lake.
For sure.
And then fly over the lake, wherever you're going, and then come back in.
Yeah, come back in when you need to. Oh my god! Could you imagine somebody out on their boat in the evening and see you fucking flying? Oh my goodness, that'd be terrifying. I didn't think about that aspect. Those are two. See, this is why I brought this up. Those are two good points I didn't consider because one, you are terrifying as a man. You are terrifying. There's a good chance you will become an urban legend.
Oh yeah,
very quickly.
Yeah.
But
people would be trying really hard not to call you Batman.
Yeah, being half horse would be hella inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's the next one. Okay.
I thought everybody's gonna think you're a vampire.
That's true. Everybody probably would think you're a vampire.
Either way, people are scared of you.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're terrified.
Get garlic thrown at you whenever you walk outside.
All the time.
Not a vampire.
Wooden stakes and stuff. Wooden crosses thrown at you. People keep silver spears on them. It'd be nuts, bro. Okay. Would you rather?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna switch match. I feel like people are gonna actively try to kill me while flying around and standing around because they're gonna think they're gonna believe in vampires all of a sudden.
I don't think anybody would try to kill a centaur though.
No, they'll be terrified, but they're not. Their immediate reaction is to kill you.
Would it be terror or would it just be like this is fucking weird? Because I don't know if I'd be terrified of a centaur as much as I'd be like,
yeah, you're probably more scared of that.
Weird. I'd be way more scared of the man bat.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have the face of a bat. You just got the wings of one.
That's why people think you're a vampire. You know what I mean? Like you would people would be trying to put stakes in your heart while you're walking down the street. I guess you're flying down the street, but still, you could never walk anywhere.
No, you couldn't. Absolutely not. See, and that's what I'm saying. How do you hide those things? How do you... Because if they're attached to your...
You're going to have like a big trench coat.
Just big ass floppy...
Yeah, big trench coat over it all.
And then you just... What about in the summertime, though? You'd be so hot.
You're going to be hot regardless. You're definitely living with somewhere cool. Either way, we're probably leaving Chicago.
Yeah, 100%. I'm flying to Alaska and just... I become an urban legend. People just... Everybody thinks everybody in Alaska is crazy anyway, so it'll be fine. So are you still going man bat wings?
I'm still going man bat wings.
Not going
there's downsides to both for sure.
All right.
The downsides are they outweigh the good side, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was kind of the point. But see, when you broke it down like that, I do kind of feel like there's more downsides to the wings than there is to the horse body.
Yeah. Are you going to change your answer?
Maybe. It would just be inconvenient. I would have to, I'd have to buy a farm.
Listen, this downsides. Do you imagine you would have to hire a person to put shoes onto your legs? Because you're a horse.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, yeah, I'd have to hire. You ever seen the videos of the guys doing the hooves? Yeah, I'd have to hire a guy to come do that.
Hire a guy to come over.
Do I need a doctor and a vet?
Probably.
I need a vet for my horse half and a doctor for my human half.
The doctor's not going to know enough.
Yeah, right?
Of the ins and the outs.
I'm sure.
You know what? This is... I want to be able to, still have sex. So I'm going to go wings.
I mean, I was just about to say, I know somebody's making a hung like a horse joke right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, there's that.
There's that.
But who's gonna want that though?
No.
You know what I mean? Most sane women aren't gonna be like, "That's what I want."
Right.
It's too much.
Okay, we gotta change it. I'm thinking it out too much on both ends. What's your next one?
All right. Would you rather have either way though, flight or super speed? Let's go back to that point.
But just to take the weirdness out, is it flight or super speed?
Well, no. I mean, I guess. What would you rather have? Would you rather have flight or super speed?
But I often feel like both are very, very close. If I'm fast,
then you want super speed?
Then I want super speed. If I can, I'm going to go through time and I can vibrate through walls. If I can get all the extra things. If not, flight just seems way more fun.
It does seem way more fun. Although super speed, even at like its lowest level, you do have that kind of like slow down effect. Of like once you start going full speed, it seems like everything else is like slow around you.
If you put it back to I can only run 100 miles an hour, I don't know, only it's really fast. I'm doing flight.
Okay. What if you can only fly at 5 miles an hour?
So what you're saying is I'll still get there quicker by running.
Yeah. But I guess you'd have more fun in the air.
It's 5 miles. I think 5 miles an hour is almost too slow.
To fly?
Yeah.
I mean, you can fly. It's 5 miles an hour. You're basically...
But you're barely moving.
Yeah, you're barely moving, for sure.
Birds are passing you.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
You're going to see
But you're in the air.
You're going to see like a fly. Like zooming past you. You're just like, man.
All right.
I'm going with the camera out. Our listeners don't know. What's the next one?
All right. Would you rather have the power of invisibility, right? But the caveat is every time you turn invisible and come back visible, a small part of you remains invisible.
Okay.
Right? So, and when I say like, so you're not like losing a whole arm at once. I mean, you're not losing it, but it's not like a whole arm at once. It's more like a finger size, right? So like you lose a finger, you lose another one, and it keeps going until you like lose the whole hand, and then it like keeps going in chunks, right? So then you'll lose the forearm, then the upper arm, blah 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 blah, etc. etc. Right? So every time you turn invisible and come back, something remains invisible. You still have those parts.
All of these sound like they're like they would exist in the boys universe.
Yeah, I know, right? You still have these parts. You still have your fingers.
Okay.
You just can't.
Yeah, you just can't see. I got
them.
it.
Nobody else can see them, right? Or would you rather have the ability, like stretching abilities, like Mr. Fantastic, but every time you stretch, your skin gets looser?
Oh,
so it doesn't always come back.
Invisibility for sure. That was not even close.
It slows down. I mean, it's over time, so it's not immediate.
Still.
It's not like the first stretch of the arm is just loose.
How did you just say?
But it slowly loses its elasticity.
No.
And doesn't bounce back.
Invisibility. This one's easy for me. Invisibility. 100%. So
at a certain point, if you continue to use your power, your whole body will be gone.
Yes. Invisibility. At a
certain point, having saggy skin.
At a certain point, you're gonna be just this flabby, you blob. No, I'd rather be invisible.
You know what? See, you know what I think would get me right if I chose the stretching ability is that it's so convenient that I feel like I would just start to unconsciously use it just out of convenience.
Just to grab the remote.
For the most mundane shit. Just like I want to drink and I don't feel like getting off the couch. Let me just stretch an arm around. And then I'll come back. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, loose. It just get looser. And it just be for the most ridiculous shit. You know what I mean? Like, let me close this door. Let me stretch a leg out. Fucking close the door and bring it back. And I'm like, oh, damn it. Now my knee's loose.
Yeah.
It's loose skin around the knee.
You're telling me even more. It's
versus invisibility, I feel like it'd be much more of a conscious effort of like...
Yeah, because you're not invisible to grab the remote. You're only using that invisibility when you're like superheroing, I suppose.
Yeah. But again, I mean, you're going to look real weird once you like lose both arms.
You're going to look real weird both.
That's true.
Regardless, you're looking real weird.
Yeah.
Can you the lesser of the two evils is not being able to, the real weird is what you can't see in that point, and that's where I'd rather have.
Could you imagine walking up to somebody, your whole arm's invisible?
Like, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Just reach out.
Just reach out. Got it. Just smacking somebody.
Put your hand out, I'll come to you.
Or you just smack somebody with your invisible hand, and they're like, what the fuck? What was that?
That is strange. Just, did you feel that? I felt like somebody...
At what point would you stop? At what point would you be like, okay, I can't go invisible anymore. I can't lose any more body parts.
This one feels very reminiscent of Monster Girl and Invincible.
Yeah,
Monster Girl.
Yeah,
right.
Every time she uses her power,
she DH. So like you would only be doing some superhero shit.
Yeah.
To do it.
Yeah. But is there a point where you'd stop? Is there a point where you'd be like, okay, I have to retire from superheroing because I just...
Yeah, because you want to that just be lonely.
Yeah, because that's the thing. And if your whole body eventually becomes completely invisible and you can't go back...
my clothes... Like, I still could put clothes on, though.
Yeah, but that'd be fucking weird.
Yeah, but it's better than nothing. I'm just there.
Yeah.
It's like the Invisible Man. You wrap the thing around and put the glasses on, the hat.
I mean, yeah, I suppose you could do that. Because if not, you're just dead to the world.
Yep, I feel good about my invisibility. I'd say.
You said that's the one I'm going with.
It's the one.
It's the one, huh? All right. Okay. All right. That's fair. All right. Last one. This one I feel like is more of a matter of inconvenience. Which inconvenience?
All of them have been.
Yeah, no, they've all been. But the first one was like monstrous traits, right? The second one was like weird physical appearance, but not monstrous. This one's like, that's cool, but man, would that be fucking inconvenient.
Okay.
Would you rather have the power of teleportation, right?
Okay.
But you can never teleport to the same place twice within like a half-mile radius.
A half mile.
So you hit your house once, that's it. You can't. You're a half block away. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like I teleport to my bedroom and then I can teleport to the kitchen and then I can teleport to the living room and then I can teleport to... No. Half-mile radius, only one time.
Okay.
Or would you rather have the ability to transform into any animal, so akin to Beast Boy, but you can only transform into animals that you have either killed or beaten a fight?
This one's pretty easy.
Yeah?
It's teleportation.
Yeah? See, I don't know.
Man, I'm not going to go kill an animal.
That's why I said / beating a fight.
I'm not going to go smack a bunny rabbit around. Walk into a pet shop. Excuse me.
Where are your guinea pigs? You got a couple parakeets in there? Yeah, I need some wings. I need to be able to fly for a little bit. Let me strangle one.
There's a character like this
that can only transform into animals that they murder.
Yeah.
What character is that?
She somewhat like got her powers from Beast Boy, so she's also green.
Okay.
But her little sick, twisted thing is Beast Boy just needs to see the animal once.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to kill them. So she goes and murders animals, and then she can turn into them.
I had no idea.
I just came up with this. I didn't know. And in her head, if she can kill Beast Boy, then she will be able to do what Beast Boy does and just see him. So she's obsessed. She's obsessed. I think that's where they're going, that she wants to kill Beast Boy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that story.
Yeah. That was in
Titans. The Titans you're reading? Yeah. I had no idea. I just came up with this. I just thought, that sounds...
ominous?
Yeah. Because it's like... It's one of those things. Okay, so let's say you took that power, right? And this is what I mean by it would be inconvenient. Because obviously you can start off small, right? You kill a bug, you can be that bug, right? So you can turn into numerous bugs pretty easily, pretty right off the bat, right? Then it's like, okay, you graduate, I guess, to like small mammals, squirrels, rabbits.
I wouldn't be doing it.
Rats, you know what I mean?
We were talking about if we got a lot of land. Mm-hmm. Would we get chickens? Because Andrea grew up with chickens.
Okay.
Right? And then in her mind...
One day you got to slay that chicken.
Yeah. I would have, by that point, I would have named the chicken. They would have been my pets.
That's a mistake, Sean. You don't name
But I already named it. The chicken's name is Barb. Barb the chicken, I kill him, Barb.
What about the other chickens? You only got one chicken?
I'm going to name them all, man. There ain't no way.
That's the mistake you make, man.
But there's no way.
You know, some people, it doesn't even bother them. They still are just like, yep, once you go.
Parts of the world that's very normal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not that guy.
I
have zero desire to go hunting.
I get that. Me too.
Nick, I catch my fish, I put them back.
I get that.
I feel a little bit like a dick when I do it. I'm like, I just put a whole hole in your... You didn't want a piercing. I gave you one, though.
Could you imagine the grind, though? Right? Because here's the thing. If you had that power, you're only getting so far with the animals that you can kill as a human being.
Right.
So eventually you got to get to I don't know why I imagined it like this, but it'd be like leveling up, like a grind in a video game, right? So It's like, as a human, I could kill small mammals, right? I could kill some birds.
You got to do it with your bare hands?
Or a weapon.
Well, you could shoot anything.
Okay, yeah. You got to do it, well, I guess with a non-projectile weapon.
No bow and arrow.
No, just like a knife, a stick, I guess,
sword?
A spear, a sword.
Like a big battle axe?
Big battle axe, but no projectiles.
Okay. I mean, it's still daunting.
Even still. Right? So it's like...
But then I could use the animal that I have.
Correct. But you still have to grind that up. You know what I mean? Like,
but I have my human intelligence.
But you have your human intelligence. So it's like, what animal makes the difference? Right? Like, what animal is it like, okay, I can kill that animal with my bare hands, but that's going to be the animal that allows me to kill the other animals I can't kill with my bare human hands. I think a dog is a really good stepping stone, but that's the hard one, right?
You're not going to kill a dog.
That's the tough one. But that'd be a good stepping stone. Like a large dog, you can then take that dog and kill quite a few things. Yeah. You can go dog. You can do most of the canines, right? You can go dog to wolf. You can go wolf. As a wolf, I mean, you still have a tough time with like a bear, though. You know what I mean? You might be.
You'd have to go like black bear. You have to go one of the smaller bears first,
and then just work your way up to bigger bears. Eventually, you get to the polar bear, the king of the bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, what do you? Dog is the stepping stone. Dog is the turning point.
You would have to like you're not gonna work your way up the bears through the bears. You'd have to go like kill like a rhino. Turn into a rhino.
What is the deal with you and these rhinos?
You are underestimating rhinos.
You clearly
so underestimating them.
Clearly put them high on your animal pedestal.
They are, man. If a rhino's running full speed at a bear, the bear's fucked.
But what are you using to kill the rhino? How are you unlocking rhino?
I already have wolf.
Yeah, so let's
my human-like intelligence.
Right. Okay, so you unlock let's say I would say the starting point would be, I mean, shit, I would even maybe just jump straight to dog. Maybe I start with a smaller dog.
We're overthinking it.
But you could jump straight to large dog.
Nick, this is easy.
Okay.
It's easy. Tarantula.
So you just poison it?
You're just poisoning them all.
Snake.
Snake too. We're overthinking it.
Like a black mamba. You know, one of the most venomous snakes out. That is smart. Damn, I didn't think of snake. No. Snake is the key. Snake is the key. Damn.
Solved.
That's good. That's good, man. Fuck. All right, so teleportation, you're still taking that one?
Yeah, I'm taking teleportation.
All right, that was what I had, man. Those are my crazy ass would you rathers.
We should have stuck with spider because that was a transition.
That's a good point. You're right. We should have did that. Let's go back. Tarantula.
Tarantula's
the one, man. You're small. You're fucking agile.
Yep. And those bites are venomous.
Venomous. You can crawl walls like another web slinger we know.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Transition. All right, yeah. So anyway, today we're talking about we're late. I think I talked about this on the podcast, right? Why I didn't want to watch this at first.
You were slightly boycotting it.
I was, yeah. But you watched it. And you're like, hey, and I told you to watch it. And then the guy also came out and was like, what I said was fucking stupid. So I was like, you know what? All right,
I had somebody tell me that I should watch it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So then I watched it, and I was like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. It's solid. It's a solid show. So anyway, what are we talking about? We're talking about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the animated show on Disney+.
Yeah, the newest installment of the MCU animated universe.
Yeah. So yeah, we're a little late. It concluded a few months ago, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't say we're a full year yet late.
No,
probably
nothing like that. We're a couple months,
3-4 months, something like that.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's all out. So if you want to go watch it, maybe after hearing our review, go ahead. It's all there.
Yeah.
You ain't got to. It's only 10 episodes. Each episode's only 30 minutes long, 25, 30 minutes long.
It's a breeze. It's a quick watch.
Yeah, it's a quick watch. You can breeze right through it.
And I'll say if you like Spider-Man and you like the other animated things, not that there's a lot, but if you liked X-Men, if you liked What If, I think this is better than some seasons of What If for sure.
True.
Give this one a watch. So I think we'll just hop into it. One of the things I found most interesting about it is I remember I was talking about this cartoon way before it came out. Mm-hmm. And it was one of the things announced that it would be eventually coming. And it was supposed to be the freshman year of the MCU Spider-Man. And then at some point, I don't even know why. Do you know why?
No.
At some point it pivoted and it was no longer considered that.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things I enjoyed the most was the things that made it seem like it did take place in a similar universe.
I get
right?
that.
It can't be the same because there's key differences.
Right.
But they threw some fucking MCU shit in this shit.
They did, yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah, so I don't believe this is the main MCU universe.
I mean, it can't be.
Yeah, this is definitely
it doesn't work.
Alternate universe. And then the way the show starts, it made me think Doctor Strange came from a different universe, but then we do the full loop,
circle.
The full circle, and we found out that that's not really the case. But yeah, I'm like, okay, this is just a different universe Spider-Man. So yeah, it's a Spider-Man story. It basically takes place in a different universe, so it's not the MCU Peter Parker.
But this universe is damn close.
Yeah, it is pretty close. There are a lot of events that happen that are the same. They talked about the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is in it.
When they said the I immediately, Nick needs to watch this.
What else did they mention in there from the main MCU?
You can't just breeze over Daredevil either.
Daredevil's in it, yeah.
Because you realized, right?
Yeah, that's Charlie Cox.
It's Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
They played the Daredevil music when it came out. I was nerding out.
Yeah, that was good. There were some other MCU references too, and some of them are small.
I think they referenced. Didn't they? They referenced Ultron, right?
Yes,
they did Ultron and the Sokovia because of the Sokovia Accords. But I think they mentioned what happened.
Yeah. Basically, it's everything happened up to Civil War in this. I don't think they had Thanos in this universe yet.
Not yet.
But
no.
Everything else pretty much happened.
Which makes sense if it was MCU. It's this is taking place right before / during Civil War, but instead of this Tony Stark recruiting Spider-Man, that part doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But that's where we are in the timeline.
Yeah.
Because it's still his freshman year of.
Which I also thought was fun because they have that scene where and this was a fun MCU reference without being crazy. But there's a scene where Peter's coming home and then he finds that DVD player in the trash.
Yeah.
And then he comes in his apartment with the DVD player. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And then somebody's sitting on his couch with Aunt May, but instead of it
and the same thing with seeing the cool car outside.
Yeah. Instead of it being Tony Stark, it was Norman Osborn. I was like, oh, that was fun.
That's what I was saying. I was like, this was a great way to change it, but make it a reference to the
Yeah. So I was like, that was cool. That was a good time. But yeah, man. I mean, we got a lot of the classics. We got Norman Osborn. We got Harry. We got Tombstone. We got Dr. Connors the Lizard. They really diversified this cast.
They did.
For sure. Obviously, the big noticeable ones, Norman's black. Harry's black. Dr. Connors, I believe, is also black.
I could see that. I don't know if she was or wasn't.
I don't know, but the bigger thing is she's a woman.
She's a woman.
It's a woman. Who else did they change for this? Doc Ock is the same.
Doc Ock looks the exact same. Scorpion, I think, is the same.
Is he? I mean, I don't know Scorpion's origin like that, but sure.
I only remember Scorpion's origin from like the other cartoons. I don't know what it is in the comic book.
Yeah. Tombstone is different.
I wrote down all the characters.
Oh, okay.
You did really good, but I'm gonna list them all out to make sure we don't forget anybody.
All right, bet.
Nico, which I'm gonna say I don't know a damn thing about that character.
No, that's Peter's friend, right?
Yeah,
the girl
and the necnecklace thing and the magic. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. I have no idea. I feel like I should.
You know
I
what's
don't.
funny? I didn't even look that up. I was like, you know what? I'll just leave this one alone.
I want to know from the show.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just leave this one alone. It was given very much like Raven vibes, but I kept having to remind myself, I'm like, this isn't DC.
It's not, yeah.
This is Mrs. Marvel. There's no Raven in this.
No.
So
No.
Yeah.
Lonnie, Tombstone, you said already. Norman Osborn, you said already. Daredevil, obviously with Aunt May. Amadeus Cho.
Amadeus Cho's in this, yeah.
Thought that was cool.
That is cool.
For our listeners that don't know, that's Totally Awesome Hulk,
Totally
right? That's
Awesome
the name?
Hulk, yeah.
Totally Awesome Hulk. He figures out...
He's also the 6th. I think he's usually ranked as the 6th smartest person in the world, in the Marvel Universe.
I know he's high in it, but I couldn't tell you what number. So I'll take your word that it's 6.
He has like his brain... He has like this crazy calculative brain where he can like map out equations in his head in like seconds and like figure shit out. And I don't even think it's a superpower. I think that's just how smart
he's just super smart.
Yeah. Because if I'm not mistaken, he replicates the gamma bomb that gives the Hulk his powers, but he just does it in a way that doesn't let him, where he doesn't lose his sanity. And he just becomes like almost as strong as Hulk. No one's ever really as strong as the Hulk, but
yeah,
he retains his super intelligence. Yeah.
Be cool if they see him do that in season 2.
Yeah.
Pearl, not really noticeable. I don't know for sure. Otto Octavius.
Yep.
Asha.
Who that?
The intern from Wakanda.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I just threw that in there.
Jian, I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. That's the Taskmaster's daughter, because I did look up. I want to know who that was. That's the other intern.
The one who is with Daredevil at the end? I didn't know who that was either. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
Kara Connors, just Lizard.
Yeah. What's his real name? What's his usual name, rather?
Connor. I think it's Connor Connors.
No, it's not. It's not Connor Connors. Go ahead. Keep going.
You want to look it up?
Yeah, I'm going to look it up. Connor Connors? I mean, I guess I wouldn't be that surprised.
It feels wrong, though. It feels wrong. I regret saying it. Scorpion, Doctor Strange. We saw Iron Man, and then we saw Richard Parker.
Curtis.
You
weren't that far off, I guess. It's Curtis Connors. Sorry. What was the last ones?
Richard Parker. So we saw Spider-Man's dad.
Yeah, which
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
And Iron Man popped up, yep.
And then obviously we talked about Doctor Strange, and then Scorpion we talked about.
Yeah. I was surprised when Iron Man showed up.
Me
they kept
too.
Talking about him, and then I was like, oh shit. So they actually just was like, yeah, fuck it, let's throw him in there.
And then they were showing pictures of Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, okay, cool.
But it made sense that, the government was involved. He's working. He signed the accord, so they had to call him. And I was like, that's cool. They made him come.
Yeah. No, it was a fun show, man. I did really enjoy it. What'd you think of the animation?
I liked it. Yeah.
Okay. Did it ever feel distracting to you? Did it ever feel like clearly cut back on budget, like some Invincible type stuff?
No, I thought it was pretty consistent throughout.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
Mostly, yeah. There are some, that specific style of animation, there are some moments where I don't love the way it looks, but then there are other moments where I really like the way it looks. I feel like it works well, and then there are times I feel like it doesn't work well. I don't know. I feel like Marvel has been going with interesting choices for their animation styles. My favorite so far has been X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like the what if animation style. That like 3D kind of, I don't really like that. But this one kind of felt like an in-between, where it felt like an in-between of like X-Men 97 and What If, where it like wasn't quite 3D, but wasn't quite like that 2D style that X-Men 97 has. So it was cool. I thought it worked. Yeah. You know what it was? It was just some things I feel like they put a lot of nice detail into, and then there were other things I feel like they put no detail into at all. And sometimes when those two things were on screen at the same time, the contrast was like very apparent of like, you guys put no effort into that, but you put a lot into this. And so that would throw me off at times. But other than that, I liked it. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was cool.
What do you think of the action scenes?
I liked them.
Bro.
And I think this is the thing. Some of them I feel like worked really well. Some of them I feel like looked a little weird because of the animation style that they chose. But some of them I thought looked really good.
Yeah. When Scorpion, like, beat the crap out of him.
Beat the shit out of him.
I did not see that scene coming.
Scorpion get that strong?
Not even just that. I was sitting here and I was like, man, this is like, because I thought it was still a little bit more of a kid cartoon. I was like, they're about to murder Spider-Man on this screen. I was like, oh my gosh, this is brutal.
It was wild. It was definitely wild. I liked the team up scene where him and Tombstone started working together.
That was cool.
But it was also one of those moments where I'm like, you got all these skills. Just
immediately.
All of a sudden, yeah. You just
he was dodging, he was a varsity athlete.
I know, but like, it's just high school varsity, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What do you think of the plot overall?
Overall, I enjoyed it. I didn't see the loop coming, like the twist of he's basically the one who gave himself the spider power. Like this whole, it's one loop. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, that's cool. But at the same time, I was like, man, it feels like some comic book shit.
Oh, it is,
like,
for sure.
You broke it down. You're just like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. But
yeah,
it was still cool though.
It was cool.
It was like a nice callback of like, oh, okay, yeah.
Because I mean, they.
I also really like Doctor Strange scenes. Speaking of action scenes, I really like Doctor Strange fight scenes. Just seeing him do magic shit is cool.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is. And it's nice having the constraint of like it's animated, so they can do whatever.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
And he's fighting like a Venom symbiote.
A symbiote creature, Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is gonna, because to start off, I was like, man, they're putting Venom in this like immediately, and this is a weird drawing of him.
Yeah. You're like, this is a weird design. Nah, not quite Venom.
And I was like, all right, now it makes sense.
Yeah. But we'll get there. You know, what else I thought was funny is when, so, you know, at the end when Spider-Man puts the machine back together, and then he's like, okay, I got to break it all back down. And he's like trying to pull those things out. And I'm like, why is this so difficult for you now? I feel like just a second ago, this was no problem. Now all of a sudden, this is so difficult. What's happening? But, you know, just superhero TV shows. Like, they did
Powers always inconsistent.
Yeah, always inconsistent.
Just remember Justice League, man. Yeah. Superman was always getting knocked out for some reason.
And then all of a sudden, he was just like, I ain't got to hold back no more. Like, punch the shit out of you. So that was fun. But yeah, man, I like the plot. I like pretty much all the characters.
I think I liked a lot of Norman Osborn.
Yeah, me too.
And him like this is not the same mentor as Tony Stark. I'm gonna mentor you, and I'm gonna be way more harsh, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, you got to stop holding back.
Yeah.
Right. You saw his like, his like. He said, I gotta not hold back, and he's like really punching off something. I was like, this is a good kind of way to like make this different.
Yeah. I agree. The whole, and you know, they even did the whole, with great power comes great responsibility. But with Norman, he said, what did he say? With great power
comes great respect.
With great respect. I think. You're right. So I was like, oh, okay, that's an interesting.
It's a Norman Osborn thing to say,
because he was so. They had to give him some Norman Osbornisms, right? Like, because he was so nice at first.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, there's clearly something to you that we don't know yet. There's something sinister there.
You're going to be a villain.
Right. You're going to get there, but how do you get there?
Yeah.
So seeing that, but it was still kind of, it was nice because, it was like, Peter does hold back. Like, he knows that. It's something that's been, like, harped upon in comics a lot and everything of, like, some of the villains that Peter fights, dude, if he stopped holding back, he could kill most of them with one punch. Like,
right.
Doc Ock is just a normal old man with fucking mechanical arms attached. You know what I mean? But his face is still regular.
Yeah.
Like if Spider-Man wanted to crack his skull, he could
I will
do
say
that.
that's kind of a nice twist they did with this universe, that all of Doc Ock's devices gave the human like extraordinary, like they were basically like super soldiers all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like they were all super strong and durable, but as soon as the device was gone, so I was like, okay, it makes sense that he's gonna have his arms and he's gonna be like outrageously strong. Like they're already kind of placing that, like this is gonna make sense because of this.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be wondering the same shit we're talking about, where you could just normal Doc Ock. Yeah, Spider-Man punched him in the face one time, he would die.
He would die. Yeah, he'd crack his skull open. So no, that was cool, and I liked because clearly he hasn't attached the arms to his body yet. So I imagine that when he does do that, it's probably gonna be some kind like a big event in the sense of, you know, it's gonna do like it's melded to his body or some kind of, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be just like he puts on a backpack that has arms in it. Like it's gonna be some kind of, not mutation, but some sort of like big transformation for him, because he already uses the arm technology.
Yeah,
and I like that. I thought that was cool because all the guards, the SWAT team's coming in, and he's just got arms everywhere in this factory, and they're all just like popping out to like do stuff, and I'm like, that's an OP ass fucking way to use that. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. So, and then he has the drawing in the jail cell of like, yeah, this is what I need. I need to attach these bitches to me so I can really make this happen. What'd you think of Harry?
I liked him. I like that they're developing the friendship first. Yeah. Because, you know, whenever you do these things, it seems like it's like, oh, we've been friends, and you're supposed to understand that.
Yeah.
This is like you get to see them become friends and see where it's going to go. So that's cool.
They put the modern spin on it. He's like an influencer.
Yeah.
Like he is a trust fund kid, but he's also making a lot of his own money because he is an influencer, and he's making all his money from brand deals and all his videos and shit like that.
I like that he's homeschooled, because like it doesn't make sense that these two, like one that's a family struggling for money and like this multi-billionaire son would go to the same school.
I love this thing when he's over at Peter's house and he's like, man, what is this? What are these? These are great. They're raisins. You never had raisins before? It's like, no, what kind of caviar is this? It's like, bro, what? Just having them be like that out of touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool to see their friendship develop, and I love how they just went, yeah, well, he's gonna immediately know his secret, and then they'll start.
Yeah.
That was another MCU reference that I enjoyed, and he's like, I'll be your guy in the chair, and I'm like, nice, cool. Did you notice that at the end where he was like, he put his own like business together, Harry put his own business together
for the
list of the names?
Ned.
Ned's name was back there. Yeah,
that's the only one. I think that's the only name I knew.
That was the only name I knew. I paused it to read them, and I'm like, let me see.
I did the same.
How many of these I can figure out without researching them? Because I'm sure they all mean something.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope. I know that one. I know that one. Let's roll with that. But yeah, man, it was good. It was good stuff. We didn't get it. We got a teaser for. We're gonna get Venom.
Yep.
So that'll be fun.
Yep. I feel like that's gonna be as early as next season.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure.
I'm sure they're not gonna make us wait on that. Before we get. I liked the progression of like Lonnie's character.
Yeah,
of like he's like because at first like you just assume the jock's gonna be a dick. In episode 1, he's like the nicest dude.
Yeah,
like,
he's just like, what's up, man?
He's just like a great guy.
I just wanted to work with you because they said you were super smart, and like I thought it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
and then you see him like, you know, he first joins the gang for his brother.
There's no bullies in this.
No.
Which is an interesting way to approach Spider-Man, because that's
always there's always Flash part. Thompson.
Yeah,
right?
There's always a big part of his character is there's bullies, but there's no bullies in this.
Nope.
Interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because we thought Lonnie would be the bully, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
I can relate though. Like I think his story was good. I think it was very relatable. This whole idea of like he's an older brother, like his family struggles, he finds himself in this situation that like he doesn't want to be a part of, but he eventually just is like, I just got to make the best out of this, and now he's
and then he slowly like kind of gets attached because they have his back. Right? So then he feels more loyal to him.
Yep. They start.
I was wondering how they're gonna go and like run. Like he's gonna clearly go from this to running it, and I was curious how they're gonna do it. And then having I can't forget the leader's name,
Big Don or something.
Big Don,
like that.
yeah. When he's like, fucking wusses out and runs away. I was like, all right, there it is.
I was mad at that moment. I was like, you big bitch. If you don't get back, what are you doing?
Been all talk this whole time.
Yeah, all this shit you've been talking, and now all of a sudden you missed out on a stab wound because your boy had your back. You didn't even get stabbed, and now you want to run away? Man, ridiculous. Yeah, so I like this progression, man. He was a fun character. I liked all the characters. I don't think they missed with any other characters. They all worked for me. Yeah, overall, it's a good show. It's a very well-written show. It's nice because you can definitely go into it without having seen any other Marvel stuff. Like, you appreciate it, obviously, if you've seen the MCU movies, but you don't have to at all. Like, you can easily just watch this and you'd be fine. And I mean, there might be some stuff where you're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? But like, you'll learn. Like,
that's comics too.
Yeah, it'll get to you. You know what I mean? You'll get to it eventually. So that was fun, man. Overall, what do you? How many
spider suits?
Spider suits. What was your favorite spider suit? I thought that was a fun bit too.
I did too.
I liked the all black one, but he was like scary. They're like, he had the talons and shit. Just like, bro, what are you doing? This ain't working.
I don't know if I have a favorite. Maybe the white one.
I thought the white one was cool too. Yeah. I know he didn't love it, but I thought the white one was nice. Yeah. The white one was fun.
I like how you thought he was going to have that one for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, no, that didn't work out. Awesome.
It did work that they made you kind of wait for it, because when it was a cool scene when he finally got the suit you wanted, like his suit.
Yeah. The one with the cape was fun too.
And he's like stuck.
Yeah. He was like, all right, no cape. Don't give me this shit no more.
Out of 5, I'll go 3.5 to 4, somewhere.
I agree.
There.
Yeah,
it's good.
I'm in the same space.
I'll watch season 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll watch season 2. Would you rewatch season 1?
I might.
Okay.
Closer to season 2, just to have it fresh off the top.
Yeah. I gotcha. All right, cool.
You? I feel like you're saying no is why you bring it up.
No, I'm probably in the same boat. I don't know if I would just go rewatch it just cause, and I don't know if it's not something where I'd be. Right, so Talia's watched most of the MCU movies with me, but there's as we got so deep into it, there were clearly ones she really liked and ones that she didn't like so much, right?
Yeah.
So now there's certain ones where I'm like, okay, you probably won't enjoy this one because I know you don't really like this character, this style of this like superhero movie. But then there are others where I'm like, no, we need to watch this one. You should watch this one.
It's the last movie you've had that you've said that to.
Guardians 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did the same.
Yeah, Guardians 3.
The same.
I told her we should watch
really
Deadpool and Wolverine because she likes the Deadpool movies.
Oh, yeah, you should definitely watch that.
But we haven't gotten around to that one. But Guardians 3
I said it for Thunderbolts, too. But I do not feel like you have to watch Captain America.
So I probably won't do Thunderbolts because Captain America is her least favorite, which is insane, but it is.
Come on, but the sense of humor in that movie, it's great.
It is fun. But she didn't watch any of the other, like she didn't see Black Widow, she didn't see Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and yeah, like the Captain America movies are like her least favorites. She just finds them boring.
I'm gonna have to talk to her about this.
Listen, I've tried. She likes the Iron Mans. She likes the Thors. She likes the big action sequences. The hand to hand combat, like just down dirty fighting. Doesn't do much.
Does nothing.
She wants to see thunder and lightning and laser beams and giant people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because we've all been talking about the Captain America trilogy
is the best in the MCU, 100%. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't do anything for her. I think what happened, the first Captain America soured her, which I feel like does that for a lot of people.
A lot of people bitch on that movie.
A lot of people bitch on the first Captain America movie, but the other two, and to be fair, I do think you appreciate the first one after you've seen the second and the third one.
I could see that.
I think you go back and you're like, you know what? This isn't as bad as I thought. Like, this is actually quite a good beginning to this character. Versus when you see them in order, I just feel like it doesn't You just remember the first one as like the worst one. Like that one was just kind of like the one you had to get through to get to the two really good ones.
See, I always feel like I've enjoyed the first one,
but
I know I'm
on. You go back, you're like, you know what? This wasn't as bad as. It's a real like Thor: The Dark. Well, not quite there.
It's not Thor: The Dark World.
Not quite Thor: The Dark World. But you do watch Thor: The Dark World, and you're like, you know what? This actually isn't that bad. It's not the worst.
But then you forget it immediately.
Then you do forget it immediately. But Captain America, I feel like, is the one where you are like, yeah, no, that one sucked. But the other two are great. But then you go back and you watch, and you're like, you know what? Actually, this does not suck. This is actually way better than I remember it. And it's because you've seen the other one. You see the progression. You know where the character's going. So you appreciate the origin that much more. I think that's what happens.
But
anyway. Yeah. So yeah, man. You want to talk about the comic book now, though?
Talk about the comic.
So the show was a Spider-Man in a different universe. We've been reading a Spider-Man in a different universe in the comic world. Yeah. So there's a new Ultimate Spider-Man. This is not to be confused with the original Ultimate Spider-Man that came out in like 2000, early 2000s.
Might be 2000. It was very
early 2000s. Legendary run though. People love that version of Spider-Man.
I've read a lot of it. I loved it too.
People loved it. I think it ran for like 150 issues or something like that. Ultimately led to Miles Morales. So yeah, that was a good time. But Marvel they're redoing their Ultimate Universe. So there's a new Ultimate Spider-Man, a new Ultimate Black Panther, a new Ultimate X-Men. There's a new Ultimate Avengers team called The Ultimates. And there's a new Ultimate Wolverine. I think that's it.
I'm only reading the one, so I'm going to take your word for it.
Those are all the main books. Those are all the books that are out right now. I think they're going to introduce a couple more, but those are the ones that are running currently. And yeah, so we've been reading Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I started reading it first, told you to read it, because I've said before, I've gone on record saying that I've read a few Peter Parker Spider-Man storylines, and they never seem to do anything for me. I'm always just like, this is fine. Like, I guess I just didn't understand the Spider-Man hype. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I know people love this character, but I just don't feel that same love for him.
Like, I feel like when you're young, you read Spider-Man,
and I think
so you didn't do that.
I did not do that. And I think that's why this Spider-Man resonates with me so much more, because this is a Spider-Man who didn't get his spider powers until he was like 30.
Right.
He already has a wife. He has children. Like, he has a whole life, and he didn't get his spider powers until he was like 30. You want me to give a brief rundown of the origin of this Spider-Man? Or you want to do it? How you want to do it?
I feel like you do it better because you read a lot of the preluding things to it.
Some of it.
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah, okay. So this new Ultimate Universe, again, there was an Ultimate Universe beforehand. It basically, let's just say it crashed. It went away, and there was only two people that remained from that Ultimate Universe, one of which being the Maker, which is Ultimate Universe's Reed Richards, who becomes a villain instead of being a hero. He decides.
See, I couldn't have judged any of that.
Oh, really?
That's why I'm letting you do this.
Yeah,
because that's not how this comic book starts.
No, but it's a big part of the origin of how it starts. Yeah. So he's a villain. Like, he's a Reed Richards variant, but he's a villain. He's still a super genius, and so he was locked up, but he figured out a way out of his prison. And I'm super summarizing this. He's figured a way out of his prison, and he decided, okay, the universe I came from is gone now, but I'm going to recreate that universe, but I'm going to do it in my image, and I'm going to go ahead and just nullify all of the potential threats that I may face as I'm reshaping this universe in my image, which includes most of the heroes, including Spider-Man. Spider-Man is actually quite high up on the threat list, so he's like, I got to get fucking rid of him. So what happens is, the moment where Peter Parker was supposed to get bit by that spider as a teenager, the Maker shows up and gets that spider. He stops the spider from biting him, puts it away, and just leaves. So Peter never got those powers as a teenager. He grows up, and something in him is telling him all the time that he's supposed to be doing something more with his life. He doesn't know what that is or how he's supposed to, but something in him just tells him he's supposed to be something different. This universe's Tony Stark finds out about the Maker and all of his plans, and so he's on a path to correct all of the stuff that the Maker decided to change. So he's giving people their powers, letting them know that they're supposed to be a hero, yada, yada, yada. So he finds the spider, and he goes to Peter, and he delivers his package to him, and the package is basically like, hey, man, look, you were supposed to be a hero. You were Spider-Man. You were actually one of the best. You were high as fuck on this dude's threat list. So we need you to become Spider-Man again. Here's a spider. Let it bite you. It'll give you powers. Here's a suit. He gives him a suit. He gives him a spider suit right off bat. And it's kind of like that, like nanotech, like it can do whatever you want it to do suit. It's got an AI in it. And he's like, here's a suit. Here's a spider. Become a hero.
And that's how this comic book
starts. That's how it starts. So Peter's like, fuck yeah. Like I knew it was something.
So he's married to MJ.
Knew it. And this is what it is.
Married to MJ.
Yep.
He's got the two children.
2 kids. Uncle Ben is still alive.
Ben is alive, but May is not.
May is gone.
So that's a little spin, a little difference. We usually see May alive and Ben always dead.
Yep.
We got the opposite in this universe, which is kind of cool. I think it's one of the things I enjoy about it. Is I like Ben's character a lot.
I like Ben. I like the fact that he's best friends with J. Jonah Jameson.
It's awesome.
That's fun too.
It's a lot of fun.
Ben is working his own paper. They start their own.
They quit together. The Bugle together because the Bugle won't run the real stories, and they decide to start their own comic book. There's a lot of little fun twists into it.
Yeah. The Kingpin is a big villain in this one. Yeah, man. So I enjoy the Spider-Man, and I think a big part of it is because I think that's why people love Spider-Man in general. I'm not taking that away, but you were right. A lot of people start to read Spider-Man when they're younger, when they're teenagers, when they're preteens, so they can relate to the struggles of a teenager as a teenager, right? But I didn't start reading Spider-Man as a teenager. I started reading Spider-Man as an adult. And like, so I wasn't like, sure, could I look back and be like, yeah, I remember going through this, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But this Peter is much more relatable to me because this is a grown Peter who has like real like adult problems. You know what I mean? Like dealing with kids, dealing with a marriage, with bills and jobs you don't like and shit like that. Like that's much more relatable to me now than bullies and fucking, high school romance.
Yeah.
So that's why I enjoy this.
What are some noticeable differences that you enjoy the most?
So that he is older. I like that he's figuring. That's a big part of it, that he's older because everything he's doing there's a lot of the same beats as like teenage Peter Parker, except he's just doing it as an adult. Like he's figuring out his powers, right? But while teenage Peter Parker went from like being a scrawny teenage kid to being having super strength, this is like I went from being a flabby 30-year-old dad to like now I can do backflips and jump off buildings and all this kind of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like I got this body, this youthful body that can do anything now that I just didn't have at first. So like that's fun. I do enjoy that he's already with MJ. We're not doing the whole like
gotta fall in love.
Will they, won't they? Yeah. Like I gotta fall in love. She's gotta find out.
I think it's cool to see that
like they're already together.
Without the powers, he would have ended up with MJ regardless. That's
cool.
Pretty cool. Like he didn't need the confidence of being Spider-Man as the nerdy little kid.
True.
That nerdy little kid was gonna get the girl regardless.
Yeah.
That's a fun little twist.
I like the new dynamic between him and Harry.
Yep.
Again, they weren't high school friends. They met because they're both being crime fighters. Like,
yeah. To give a quick summary, like Oscorp basically buys Stark Industries. Wayne Tech. Damn. Stark Industries. And then finds out about the Iron Man suits and basically gets Otto Octavius to make a Green Goblin suit out of the Stark technology.
Yep.
But because Otto doesn't know the crazy shit that Tony does, we talked about this.
It can't be quite. It's not quite the same.
Yeah. So he's got a glider because he couldn't figure out the flying.
He couldn't figure out the thruster. So he's like, you gotta just use this, bro. I can't figure that shit out. I like Otto in this too. I think that's a fun take on it. Like, clearly he's probably still gonna get his arms at some point,
but he's like not a villain right now.
No, he's not. He's just cooling. And I keep thinking, like, okay, at what point does Harry become a villain? But it doesn't seem like they're gonna make him one. Not truly.
Yeah, I think he's
like
just
always
gonna
toe this line.
He's gonna be on that more anti-hero.
Yeah.
And this, so he's married to Gwen
Stacy, which is also an interesting.
Which is interesting. And Gwen Stacy is part of a Mysterio cult.
Yeah. So this is new. This came out in like the last 2 issues. By the way, they are 17 issues in. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I thought it was 16, but maybe it was 17.
It's 16 or 17 issues in, so not far. That sounds like a lot, but that's honestly not a lot. You can get the first 2 trade paperbacks are available, so you can get issues 1 through 6 and 7 through 12, like in a trade paperback where you don't have a bunch of floppy issues. It's like a book, so you can get caught up.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Like, if you wanted to read this, it's not like going back and reading the other Ultimate Spider-Man where there's like 150 plus issues, right? There's like 16. So if you wanted to get into this, you definitely could. But yeah, so Harry's married to Gwen. He becomes the Green Goblin to like fight crime. And in doing so, that's how he meets Peter,
right?
Who's being Spider-Man fighting crime. And they're both kind of like, I guess we're doing the same thing. So maybe we should...
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I love the part, and I forgot about this, but Harry realizes that Tony made the tech that is in Spider-Man's suit, so then he figures out that he has access to it.
Yeah.
So he can like tell it to like turn off and like unveil Peter's face, and he just does that to him and just like turn the mask off, and then the mask goes away, and Peter's like, "What the fuck, bro? Like, why'd you just do that?" So he immediately finds out that it's him. They started with the black suit.
Yeah,
and that was fun because his daughter finds out, and then his daughter's like, "Yeah, Dad, this is kind of scary. Can you like
gotta get some color?
Do something with this suit? Like, why is it all black?" And so he like switches, and you see him go through a bunch of, it's kind of like the animated series, you see him go through a bunch of different suits and stuff. And
I think one of my favorite scenes is when he's stopping the robber on the rooftop, and he like makes a joke. He's like, "Can you just like not rob the bank?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you talked me out of it, thank you."
And he's like, "Yeah."
I was like, "Oh, is that easy?" And the guy like knocks him over the head.
I think it was Shocker.
Was it shot? Yeah.
And he's like punches him off the roof, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I fell for that bullshit." So yeah, that's fun. And then as it progresses, his son also becomes a Spider-Man.
Yeah. So he stops wearing the Tony Stark suit with the AI.
Yeah.
And then while he's captured for a while, his son takes the suit so Spider-Man can still be around. So now we just got 2 Spider-Men.
Yeah.
One with the powers of the suit and one with the actual powers.
He makes the suit, the AI of the suit himself, so that he could just talk to himself. Yeah. So that's fun. So then when his son gets it, it's like he's talking to his dad, which is also a good time.
And I like how he's like, "You're not going to let anything happen to him." He's like, "I won't, because you wouldn't."
Yeah.
Like the AI is saying that to him. It was about his son. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then the flip side, and then he's got, Harry's got his dad, Norman, and his Norman's just like a fucking dick in his, like, "You're never going to amount to anything." Yeah. He's like,
why would you do this?
I like in the last issue, he's like, "Well, let me get this over with."
Yeah,
he like, puts
turn
the
this
suit
back on.
And the guy's like, "I'm scanning your memories." "What do you mean you're a captured?"
Yeah, what the fuck is this? You're a failure. And he's like, "Thanks, Dad. Let me just go ahead and get to this, bro." What do you think of the Gwen Stacy being a Mysterio?
I like it. I
don't fully understand what's going on just yet.
They clearly, the Mysterios is like a...
They like pass the power around or something,
and they're like a cult that knows that this universe has had things changed to it. And so their goal is to like get what the universe should have been back. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It sounds very much so like what a cult would do.
I can't tell like what Gwen's motives are yet, though. You know what I mean?
I think where it's gonna go is Gwen's gonna make Harry more a villain, because she's more villain.
Yeah, she seems more villainous.
She blows up the building, and he's like, "What do you mean you build up the building? You said you got everybody out, right? But what if I miss somebody?" It's like, "You said you would get everybody out, so I blew up the building."
Blew it up. What you thought was gonna happen? Yeah, no, that was crazy. That was I mean, you called it though, because I think I had mentioned we talked about this before.
Yeah,
you called it. You were like, "I don't think Harry's dead," and he wasn't.
Yeah, he was going for one issue.
Yeah, one issue. Yeah, there was a whole thing.
I guess spoilers, but yeah.
This universe's Kraven the Hunter like captured both of them and basically put them on this private island and was like, I'm gonna hunt you. I'm gonna give you a head start so I can hunt you down. And yeah,
that
was crazy. What do you think of the
probably
villains?
One of the better issues?
Yeah. What do you think of the villains in this one? So we've seen Kraven the Hunter, Kingpin, Mysterio, Mole Man.
Yeah, but we haven't seen Mole Man really do anything.
Yeah. Who else?
Like you mentioned, Shocker.
Who's in the Sinister Six?
That we've seen?
Because Kingpin assembles the Sinister Six.
Right. It's the one dude, I can't even think of his name, that's got all the people that wear the masks and they're like...
Yeah.
Whatever that guy is.
Yeah. But no, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
So this is the thing I'll say. So there's things that are like it's entertaining to see Ben and
J. Jonah
Jameson, thank you. Like start a paper together. Their banter back and forth has always been pretty funny. So I like all that. There's definitely some issues that I think are there's like good issues and then there's like very okay issues. Like, I forgot what issue it was. I was like, there was like a holiday party issue one or something, and
everybody
I was like,
ragged on that one, but I didn't mind it.
Bro, because nothing happened.
I didn't mind it at all.
Party.
I thought it was
nobody suited up.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's why I'm vibing with this one because that just felt like some real shit. Like that just felt like an everyday mundane thing of like, yeah, they're superheroes, but like real life still exists for this guy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I didn't.
He still has to deal with this.
And they could have had a little something happen.
I mean, I get you. I enjoyed it.
Stop somebody like a purse snatcher. Stop a purse. Suit up at least once in the comic book.
That's fair. We've seen Sandman too. We saw Sandman in the issue. That was cool.
They like him and his son
went and
team up and they free him essentially.
Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good. Other than that one, like maybe that's like the one issue I feel like is maybe a little bit of a drag. But other than that, dude, every other issue I think it's been great, and I'm super excited.
It's cool to see the double date they had with Harry, Gwen, MJ, and Peter. They do a lot of fun things.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because like Harry and Gwen have no connection. I mean, not Harry, Peter and Gwen have no connection in this universe. It's not like I used to love this one and now it's like, this was my wife, that was his wife. He doesn't even know Harry before this, you know, they just met. So yeah, it's fun. I would definitely recommend.
So I guess how many spider suits again?
I mean, for this, honestly, I give it a 5 out of 5. I've been loving it, man. I've been loving it. I really enjoy it.
I go,
it's been my favorite Spider-Man
I'm going to go 4.
Okay.
4.2. 4 feels too low. 4.5 feels high. 4.2.
Yeah, I'm giving it 5.
You can give it a 5, man.
100% recommend it. 100% recommend it. Go read it.
Okay.
That's what I got.
All right.
Is that it? Is that the show?
That's it.
All right, that's the show. Thanks
guys.
Thanks for swinging along with us this time, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.